Welcome everyone to another episode of the Cool Guy Podcast. This is your host Marvin G, along with my new co-host in life and on the radio or whatever
on
this
the radio.
is.
On the radio?
I like to pretend like I'm on the radio.
I really believe you do.
Yeah.
Your
Anyways.
vibe. Anyway.
I'm just gonna open up my heart right away, guys. Like,
Wait.
I'm feeling a little upset right now.
Wait, why? I thought you were going to get emotional.
Well, it can make me a little emotional that I just lost that Monopoly.
Oh, no, you got your butt whooped at Monopoly.
Like, we are now into Monopoly, and, you know, we're teaching the girls life lessons on how it works. And if you haven't played, I think it's a really good game, a board game for you to play. Like, it really does teach you a lot about how money works and assets and all of that. But, yeah, like, I think this is the first time
What?
that I've lost to you. Like, that we're the last two.
Yeah. The first time that you've lost to me like that. So brutally.
I didn't like it.
But it was fun. It was a spontaneous thing, and the girls really enjoy it. But we're also like teaching them how to lose. So today I feel like I got my strategy down. And
Like, she kicked our butt.
This is like the second time that I win in this way. I'm not gonna reveal my secret because
I already know what it is.
What?
No, because you said we're not going to talk about it. Look, if you want lessons on Monopoly, we have a membership that you can purchase, and we'll teach you strategies.
Stop trying to sell things off of here. But no, it was fun. But yeah, I knew that was affecting you because you've been quiet since then.
Yeah. Anyways, all right, guys, it's out. It's out now. I feel better. I feel healed now. I forgive you for beating me. And now
I beat you fair and square. I think that's the part that.
All right, whatever. Let's start all over, guy. Welcome
Welcome to the Cool Guy Podcast.
So anyhow, in the last week, there's been quite a few things that have been going on. I think one of the most eye-opening things is the last time that we were on here, we're talking about You Are What You Eat. Remember we were talking about the documentary we watched? A lot has happened since.
Okay, yes. Okay, so I listened to this other podcast.
You cheat on our podcast by listening to other podcasts?
Okay, it's not cheating because I'm not on social media, remember?
Oh, that's true, yeah.
So this is like where I get my information. But okay, so if you don't know, it's called The Spillover. Anyway, so she had different people on there, and one of them was like, oh gosh, I don't remember it. I don't have my phone with me, but it's called like... ancestral tales or something like that. Where
that's the name of the show, or
of that episode.
Oh, okay. But what's the name of the show?
The Spillover.
Anyways.
By Alex something. Okay. Anyway, the point is, I'm gonna go fast, but they go against everything that the documentary talks about. And they went into detail saying that like that's like the next thing on the agenda is basically like for humans like not to consume meat, and they list the reasons why. But then they talk about how like, you know, eating meat is important, but more importantly is like where you get it from. So
Wait a minute. The last time we said that eating meat was the way that we were not gonna go, but now you're saying that we're gonna eat meat again?
Okay, well, I think in everything in moderation, they also talked about how like when humans don't eat or consume like, you know, protein and like sufficient different like organs of like liver and stuff like that important to have all the nutrients, like we don't develop like leadership skills, so they want like a bunch of like, you know, dumb people walking around.
I think one of the other things that caught my attention talking about this topic is when we were mentioning it to your brother, he said, oh, yeah, that's paid for by vegan, something vegan this. And it's like, man, like you can't trust anything anymore. And I think that's the part that really gets me upset.
Okay, so it's the podcast I was listening to is The Spillover with Alex Clark. You should check her out. She talks about very intense things. And... but it's like very controversial stuff. Yeah,
but don't substitute their podcast for ours.
Okay, it's just completely different.
I'm just saying.
Okay, anyway. But it's called Ancestral Diet, Sunshine and Wise Traditions with Hilda. But so check it out. But it's just good information. It talks about like how to live a good, clean, healthy life with things that are around us. So basically what we're trying to say is, may the Lord guide you.
Yeah, because obviously we can't.
To what to do. And she was even talking about, like, how getting out and the sun, even without sunscreen, which is so controversial, right? Because
Jeez.
like, we've heard for so long, like sunscreen. Well, you go to Africa and stuff, they don't use sunscreen and they don't have any problem. So anyway, just it opened up my mind, and I was like, wait a minute, here I am saying we're not going to do this, we're going to stay away from this because of this documentary, and now it's like, well, so yeah, so to each their own. And
so we're back to eating meat.
We will eat clean, healthy, and like our ancestrals did back in the day.
They used to eat cows back in the day.
Back in the day,
So
like you
good.
talk
And
to
pigs.
people, like they would eat whatever they hunt,
Yeah.
like whatever they hunted, and fruits and vegetables and all that stuff. So yeah,
Well, anyways, let us know still what you're eating.
just make sure you know where it's coming from. I think that's like ultimately the biggest thing too. Like, try not to be eating like stuff that's like, I don't know. You can't trust anything though. So
I think that's the sad thing, is that, yeah, you can't trust anything. Like, even the fact that they're lying on labels now.
I know.
Well, I don't know if lying is the right word, but misleading us. Maybe that's the way, right?
Because technically it's not lying, because what is it, the standard?
Yeah.
It's like,
It falls under the FDA,
right,
whatever.
So our standard tier are so low. So low key, our backyard, we have plenty of space. I'm thinking of getting a chicken.
Oh, wow. Really? A chicken?
Just like, how many do we need? If you have chickens,
Yeah,
let
Lucy's
us know.
going to kill it. Our dog.
No, because we keep in a little coop, and then like
And where are we getting this coop from?
Costco.
They sell them there?
I've seen them, but we can put it like on the side over here, by the shed.
And who's going to clean it up?
Us with the girls.
All right, stay tuned, because I don't know if this is going to fly.
Well, I think we would definitely know where our eggs are coming from.
Is that legal?
Of course
right?
it's legal.
Remember we were talking about, like, there was something that was illegal as far as like having a rooster?
I don't think you can have a rooster.
Why though?
Because then,
Because then they don't want you to control
Right.
multiplying your chickens or
Yeah.
whatever. That's
But
crazy.
I'm going to look into that, because I think I've heard that having a chicken is very low maintenance, as far as like, as long as you have a coop,
Yeah.
you don't need to be like, I don't know. If you have chickens, let me know what I'm getting myself into. But I do think that I'm considering it for sure.
Well, I think this is funny.
You might go to Florida and come back and find a chicken here.
Oh, God. The other
Just
day,
saying.
after our last podcast, I put a poll up on Instagram, the Cool Guy Podcast, which is on Instagram. Go ahead and follow me, the Cool Guy Podcast, on Instagram. And I put on there what people were eating, like if they were eating all natural, just vegetables,
Okay.
all meat, or balance between both. Which one do you think won? Since you're not on social media, you actually don't know.
I didn't even know you put this up. Okay, tell me.
There you go.
Tell me the options again.
All natural, just
No.
veggies,
No.
all meat, and a balance between both veggies and meat.
I want to say either all meat or a balance.
Well, which one do you think won? Just
All
pick
meat.
One. All meat. Okay. All natural and veggies got
None.
0%, which I'm actually shocked by.
Really?
Because I thought living here in Portland, like, people are more organic, more natural, freaking hippies. I'm just kidding if there's any hippies listening.
Wow.
But I thought, like, yeah, like, oh no, like, people are like strictly trying to go vegan, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of those options. But meat eater or all meat was the winning poll with 53%, and then a balance between both 47%. So it was definitely very close. Definitely people are eating their vegetables, but I feel that it's interesting.
Well, remember,
that
like,
meat,
we are in a country that eating meat is like, we eat it every day, multiple times a day.
yeah, that's true.
And that's just how we were trained. Like, you go to Denny's, well, they don't have those as much.
They don't have
anymore.
that anymore.
But like the Grand Slam, they have you have bacon and sausage or ham, and then for lunch you have like a sandwich with something in there, and then for dinner you have like your steak or your chicken. So Where in other countries, they eat that like once a month, two times a month. Like when your mom comes and she sees how much like we eat, she gets
wow. Scared.
She's like, wow, you guys. It's not that, yeah, okay, maybe we eat a lot, but I'm saying that what we eat, like, okay, when do we have salmon, chicken, and then we have steak, and then we have whatever. And she's like, you know. So
like she wants us to eat just tortillas with salt and lemon. That's it.
Well, like she always says, like, que nunca falten los frijoles, because that's just how she.
Sorry, we're still learning how to use her equipment, and right now, my beautiful wife has muted herself. So either you don't want to be a part of this show, or what you're saying you don't think is important.
I just got excited and I tapped it. Where did I leave off?
I don't know. I didn't.
But my mother-in-law always saying, at least que nunca falten los frijoles. So anyway, moving on.
Well, anyways, yeah. Let us know what you're eating. Like,
by the
what
way,
do you think about all this? Do you even care?
By the way, Google says that they're fairly low maintenance, the chickens.
I wonder what you have to feed them though.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Feed them
I don't
steak.
know. No.
Feed them chicken.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine a chicken eating chicken? Or a pig
anyway,
eating pig?
If you guys want to buy some eggs, hit me up.
Not yet. Because we haven't actually decided that this is
okay,
what we're
but what
do.
if we have like, what is that? Supply and demand.
Well, then that changes
like
everything.
Your
obviously.
these chickens would be raised literally in a farm.
We don't live on a farm.
AKA my backyard.
Okay,
that's
so they're free range.
Free range 100%.
There you go. Okay,
free range. They do whatever the heck they want, and they're not sick or healthy. I mean, sick. They are healthy. Wow. Okay, moving on.
Anyways, something else that happened was the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Go Taylor Swift.
Go Taylor Swift. I was excited to watch the game.
You were excited.
I was excited to watch the game, even though I don't really care about either team. But like again, the Taylor Swift effect. Like and it's so funny because I mean,
you think they got like?
I don't think like how do I tell you this? Like I don't want you to think that I'm following like Taylor Swift because like oh my god I think she's so hot. Like I don't even think she's honestly like all that attractive to me. So it's not even that. I just like the fact like the story. Like I love the story of the most popular artist right now being in love, or I mean I think it's love with a football player. That's funny. It's so crazy. But even before that, he called her out on a podcast. I don't know if you guys even know the story about how this all even happened. Like I think he wrote his phone number on a bracelet and gave it to her, and she or her people rejected it, and then he went on his brother's podcast to talk about it. And that's how I believe everything came to pass. Yeah.
Wow.
So the fact that like she genuinely rejected him and then like maybe like that sparked an interest and now they're like dating and love, about to get married.
Okay, that's false facts.
Yeah, that hasn't happened yet. But I think that's what I like about it.
I think it's funny how we talk about it like if there are like our neighbors, like
They basically are because I follow them and I watch everything that they do. But I tell you, what do I do as soon as something happened? Like when they won the Super Bowl, what did I tell you? Here, let me look for the text message.
No, I text you.
Yeah, no, but what did you text me? You text me.
I said Taylor Swift won.
And then, you did. Okay. And then I responded, not only did she win America's hearts, but she won the Super Bowl too. Because she was the key player in this championship.
Yeah, right. She ran a lot of touchdowns.
Okay, but
let's talk about the.
Yeah, I know you guys don't even care
event.
about you guys don't care about the score. You guys care about the halftime show.
Yeah.
Usher, which if you're my age, I'm 42, 43.
I don't even remember.
I'm 43. And I grew up listening to Usher. Like, I mean, he had hit after hit after hit. I think I was on, like, was I still Christian then? Like, I want to say, like, oh, yeah, I used to dance at the club, even though I probably still didn't, but it sounds cooler.
I hope you were a Christian back then.
Yeah, but anyways, like, yeah, Usher. Like, who doesn't know Usher, you know?
Well, Usher, I used to burn his, like, CDs, and I had this Walkman, and I would, like, that was, like, my, like worldly music. So when I was in school, like, I would listen to it and then switch CDs because I didn't want my parents to find it.
Oh my god!
So Usher is near to my heart.
So when we heard that, because what?
Never mind.
I cut you off.
No, I don't want to say anymore.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, anyways, when we saw that Usher was going to be the halftime show, we're like, yes, like that should be good.
Right. So you thought.
So I thought. What did you think? Let's go with that
I
first.
had a high expectation because it's Usher. What is Usher known for? Like music, but then his dancing and, his
Michael Jackson impersonation.
Right. But, I was like ready to take a nap while the game was going. And then when he came on, I was like, all right, this is it. Number one, I don't know. I guess I was like let down, but number one, what did I tell you? I said like, he doesn't even finish a song. Like,
yeah, I know.
It was like a phrase, switch songs, a phrase, switch song.
Yeah,
it's like,
Like
okay. And then Alicia Keys, beautiful.
I think that was the first time they finished, or not finished the song, but at least like had a lot more time in the song.
But it was just like he was trying to fit in too much, in such a small time frame.
Especially him that has such a big repertoire of music. Like, yeah. I mean, it's
maybe that's why he
20
was just
years of hits
trying to like fit in so much and like how long is, I don't even know how long.
What did you think about just his overall performance though?
I'd give it like a 4.
A 4?
A 5, but it's 5. No, 4. I was unimpressed.
Okay, but first, when I first asked you, you said I'd give him a 6 or a 7. I think you said.
No, I would not say 7.
Okay,
That's
I think
way
you said
more
6.
than half.
And then I think said, yeah, I'll give it a 6. But yeah, the more I saw it, the more I thought about it, the more I replayed his image in my head. I was like, no. Like I'll give him a 4.
I felt like he was trying too hard.
Okay.
Here's like this 45-year-old like trying to dance like if he's 20, maybe. I don't know.
My friend David texted me right away and he's like, oh, I give him a 3. I was like, damn, like that's brutally honest. Shout out to my friend David Hernandez.
Oh, okay. Maybe Seattle. That's why I swayed my opinion. No, but I definitely don't think it's a 7. I would say between a 4 and a 5.
All right. Here's a quick little clip of somebody else's opinion. I talked to, we're celebrating my friend Luis's birthday. Another shout out, Luis Blanco. Luis White, as I like to call him. But we're celebrating his birthday at a pool place. I don't even know what you call that. Not like where you splash and get wet, but like where you play pool. Because remember what the girl said? I was like, oh, we're going to a place where they play pool. Oh, is there going to be water or what did you think? Yeah, anyways.
A pool hall.
They had interesting opinions, so let's hear that.
What did you think of the Super Bowl performance?
I thought it was good.
Really?
Yeah. It could have been better.
What would you give it from a 1 being the worst, 10 being the best?
6.
6? I think that's generous.
I truly believe Usher can do a lot. Because he's a good performer. But
Usher Raymond a 6.
he was great.
What is wrong with you?
I think the highlight of his thing was his shirt off.
Okay, now we have Maciel over here. Maciel, what would you rate the Super Bowl halftime show?
Just because he took his shirt off, a 10.
Okay.
Usher.
Did you have any other
amazing.
Okay, let me ask you this. Did you know who was playing today?
Who was performing? Yeah.
No, who was playing the game?
Oh, who was playing? Yes.
Who?
The 49ers and the Chiefs.
Okay, Chiefs.
because
The
of
Chiefs.
Taylor.
We'll give her a half a point for that. All right, that's good. Let's go over here with Mari. Mari, what were you looking forward to today for the Super Bowl?
Honestly, the snacks.
Okay, I haven't heard that one today. But did you watch the halftime show?
I did.
And?
It was very entertaining. I gotta say, Usher's skating was really impressive.
I was
impressed
impressed by that too.
Yep.
Yes. And what would?
Really impressive. I forgot 7.
No, I don't skate, but that looks difficult to do.
And he did it on like the normal rollerblades.
Yeah,
not
the
like
4 wheels.
Not the
Yes,
like the.
I agree.
And I feel like that's even more difficult.
So, what would you give his performance overall?
For the skating, a 7.7.
Man, you guys are very generous.
Yeah.
My friend gave him a 3.
Oh.
Yeah, I gave it a 6, but then like thinking back on it, it would probably be more like a 5.
Well, the thing is, like, as we were watching it, we were all eating dinner and standing up, and we're like,
You guys were jamming with him.
so like that was for entertainment. Like, it was good.
Who did you think was the best special guest performance with
Alicia
him?
Keys. Did you see that skirt?
By
It just
far.
flew off?
Her.
Oh, and her.
Oh, her, yeah, Her, right? Her, yeah. I didn't even know she played the guitar.
She's insane.
She's the best guitarist ever.
I didn't know that. Yeah, sorry guys, I've been under a rock. All right, I'll look into that.
Every millennial girl was oohing and awing over Usher right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, that brings us back.
oh, the older generation, definitely.
You're an older generation.
You guys revealed your age. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you.
All right. So I don't know about giving Usher a 10.
Or 7.7.
A 7.7. That was so specific.
I know.
Yeah, I think it was okay. I think I'm going to stick to a 5. I'll definitely give him some extra points for being on skates. Like, yeah, I agree. I can't even skate like normal, let alone dance the way he was doing it. Right?
You can't. Yeah, no, you really can't. I'm going to stick to my 5. Yeah.
So what would be the average between a 3, a 5, your 5, a 7.7, a 10, and a 6?
5.7.
5.7. Let us know what you thought about the halftime performance.
It
But
was like so long ago too, though.
I know you're right. You know what? Forget that. Okay, let's talk about this. Who is somebody that you would like to see do the halftime show? I'll go first. Who am I going to say?
I don't know.
I'll go
Don't
first.
say it.
I'm going to say it. Who? Not Taylor Swift.
No, I know not Taylor Swift.
Mielsa Marcos.
I knew it. People are gonna think we're nerds.
I am a nerd. Like if you know me, you know it's no secret that I love Mielsa Marcos. And why not let them do the Super Bowl halftime show,
knew you were gonna
even
say
though
that.
they don't sing in English?
I knew.
No,
you were
but
gonna
for
say
real,
that.
like I would love to see a Christian artist do it. It's
Yeah.
probably not gonna happen.
Ever happened.
But like Toby Mac,
Toby Mac. Oh,
right?
yeah,
That would
Toby
be
Mac
cool.
is cool. Yeah.
I've seen him live, and he
Yeah.
has a really cool show.
Yeah. Toby Mac is a good one.
Okay, but for real though, like,
Give me options. Like, I feel
well,
like
okay,
I'm
everybody obviously wants to watch Taylor Swift. She's never done one.
No, she's never done one. I just don't. Well, I've never been to one of her concerts.
Yeah, me neither.
But, I feel like it's not.
Like for me, one of the best ones so far was last year when Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem,
well,
Mary J.
with
Blige were
Rihanna?
there. And
Bruno Mars.
Oh
Was
no,
the-
yeah, that wasn't last year. You're right. That was 2 years ago.
Bruno Mars was a good.
His
one.
was really
Yeah.
good. Yeah, he's a great
Whatever
artist.
happened to him? We should check
He,
in on him.
yeah, he kind of just disappeared. But yeah, let me see.
We should text him.
Has Beyonce done one? I
Yes.
think so.
Yeah, she did.
Who's like another like big artist right now? Dua Lipa?
I don't think you and I are the right people to
Yeah,
talk
I
about
know.
this because we don't know what's in.
Well, you let me know then. You let us know who
Yeah,
you
'cause
think
I
would be a
don't-
good. Mine's. I'm gonna stick to Mielsa Marcos. The heck
We're
with it. But so okay. But speaking about this real quick, you know how they have like the ads and you know the commercials are a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Did you see that Jesus one?
okay, that's exactly what I wanted to talk about because
sorry.
I follow this guy. Oh man, I think it already erased, but I follow this guy. I'm not gonna give him any publicity, but you know, he put, yes, don't feed the hungry, but spend $1 billion on a Super Bowl commercial. Jesus or whatever.
Gosh.
This guy is someone that is constantly criticizing Christians in general. So, and again, I'm paraphrasing. I would have to find the actual quote, and it's already down. I should have screenshotted it, but I know what he was trying to say. Like, instead of feeding instead of feeding the hungry and giving money to the poor, why spend $1 million on a commercial? Come on, right? Like, I mean, am I the only one that?
Wait, is this somebody that you know, like personally?
No.
Okay.
I
Because I was like, you need to tell me who this is.
you need to stop being friends with this
I'm
person.
like, dang.
No. But I just like it really bugged me
It's
because
that cynical part.
yeah.
Don't you hate when people are cynical?
Okay. Yeah. It just bothered me because obviously somebody like him is not gonna get it. Like
Well,
this isn't
no.
about feeding the poor or giving food to the hungry. Like this is about getting the name of Jesus out there.
Exactly.
Right? Like
Yeah.
we're in a world that needs Jesus right now.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean,
Exactly.
desperately needs Jesus.
Right.
Like, what happened this last 2 weeks? There was a shooting
Oh, yeah.
inside of Lakewood Church.
It's crazy.
And then there was a shooting that took place at the Super Bowl parade. How does somebody go inside of a church and just go on a shooting spree? But, I mean, I'm not highlighting the fact that they went into a church, but just in general, how are you at a parade where people are just celebrating, you know, something that is so important to them, you know, something that represents, you know, so many different people, and like find it in your heart to shoot people, like not even shoot people like, oh, I hope they get hurt, but with the intention and of wanting to kill people. Like,
Well, I think we have to remember that a lot of these people are.
she muted it again.
Oh gosh. Okay, sorry. I think we have to remember that a lot of these people, unfortunately, are hurt, and I'm trying to see, like, remember what we talked about on Tuesday at like the 12 basic needs that we as of a human, like what we need.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what these people are lacking, you know, feeling valued, respected, affirmed, touched, affirmations, being accepted, feeling important, like so many things that to one, you're like, no, it's more than that. And yeah, it's definitely more than that, but it all started because rejection. It all started because they didn't feel valued. It all started because
nobody made them feel important.
Hurt.
Yeah, they're hurt. Yeah.
And then it just, you know, if you don't heal that, it's like hurt after hurt after hurt. And then they're, you know, they don't care. They don't care that there's people around. They don't, like, their mind just like freezes, I think. I don't know. And obviously these people, like, they don't fear for their life. Like, there's no fear of what happens to them. I'm sure a lot of them go in willing to die and hurt whoever is there. Like,
yeah,
you know, we've all heard of the school shootings. Well, I don't get that. Blow my mind. Like, I can't even wrap my head around how that works. But it's all because of hurt. It's all because of rejection. It's all because of evil.
I think I mean, you know, obviously the Bible talks about the condition of the world being in deep darkness.
Right.
And I feel like that's the times that we're living right now. We're living in a time where there's deep darkness in the world. And this is where we need to shine our light.
Right.
You know, we all have a light inside of us that cannot be hidden. And I think a lot of us have tried to hide it. A lot of us probably don't even realize that we have a light. And all of these things are going around the world. Imagine if somebody that, and that's not to say that it didn't happen, but imagine if somebody was, you know, their neighbor and they had the opportunity to talk to this person, or, you know, and I mean, we fall guilty of not reaching out to our neighbors, but so I don't want, I mean, yeah, I'm not trying to justify, but what I'm saying is, you know, we all have a light, we all carry a light, and
we get comfortable though.
I think, yeah, that's the thing.
We are comfortable with just our type of lifestyle. And because we're saved, we don't think, oh, others need to be saved, or I don't know. But I do feel like we, you know, that's just our human nature, is just to be conformed easily. And that's why we just live our lives, you know. Yeah. And then the other thing I was going to say is these type of events like bring fear. Now, how many people are not going to want to go back to church? Because okay, that happened in Lakewood. That's traumatizing. And then, okay, well, now they don't want to go to their local church because, God forbid, you know, something happens there. And that's when they just get paralyzed. And
shout out to those two security people. So,
in case you're listening,
speaking of Lakewood, though, the two security officers that acted quickly and brought her down were two off-duty police officers. Oh. So they're obviously carrying a concealed weapon, which, man, thank God for that. And I know we have somebody at our church. I don't want to expose him unless he wants to be, right? But we have somebody at our church that, you know, is a police officer. And I'm not going to lie. I mean, a part of me does feel 100%. Safer, right? Because I know, like, if anything happens, like he's always been the type of person that's just alert.
Regardless.
Regardless. And he's always just looking out for the well-being of everyone. And
it's like he was born for that.
Exactly.
Role.
Yeah. Like it fits him perfectly.
For sure.
So we'll just call him AD.
No,
if you know, you know.
I think, that sense of security.
Yeah.
You know, it helps to know that someone is vigilant, because God knows that when I'm busy running around a church, I'm not thinking, oh, if something were to happen, you know. No, like my mind is just trusting that, well, God's protection and that everything's going to work out. But
but this is the question that I want to ask. As believers, I mean, we know that God's protection is over our lives. We know that there are angels around us, protecting us. Like the Bible says all of this, and we believe it, and but how far do we take it as far as, okay, kids, we're going to go watch a movie. If anything was to happen, these are the emergency doors. Like, do you, especially our kids, that's going to provoke panic in them or make them feel uneasy or uncomfortable. Yeah. But if something were to happen, you want them to know what to do.
Yeah.
So where is that line? Like when we go to church, it's like, okay, we let them run around and we know that they're safe, but should we as parents do our due diligence and say, hey, maybe not get into details, but look, there are some really bad things that are happening around the world. And if something was to happen in our church, I could already ask Sophia, like what? Like what?
Oh, yeah.
Like getting all worried and.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think obviously your kid, and with ours, like right now, just dealing with what we've dealt with Sophia, like I would not right now. Mm-hmm. I think Annie might be able to handle it a little bit better.
I don't know. She wanted me to rub her back last night because they watched The Chosen.
Maybe that's why her stomach was hurting. But and this is where yes, we need to expose them to certain things, but obviously we have to be very wise and not instill fear in them. And I believe that, I don't know. I feel like I'm the wrong person to ask because me, I don't live in fear.
Yeah, we don't.
And I just believe that this is not going to happen around me, to my kids when I'm there.
And you know what's sad is I can already hear the thoughts of people saying, oh, you guys are so naive.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Or you guys aren't, you need to be real with your kids.
Realistic. And that's fine. Yeah. And that's fine. But
I just wish that people understood, we don't just say, how do I say it? Man, we're opening a can of worms.
Yeah,
but
what are you
doing?
doing?
I believe what the Bible says, and I believe that He is my refuge. I believe that He is my tower. I believe that He is my protector. I believe that. So that's why I don't walk in fear, and that's why people might call it naive or negligence or whatever. But when you say that, I know it's not gonna. I also believe that it's not gonna happen to us. It's not gonna happen to our families.
And I struggle with people that are not like that around me. So when we have these conversations, I tend to just nod my head and not really, and be there for them in the sense, because even if it's like when we tell Sophia, that's not going to happen to us. But how do you know? Yeah. I just know. We're certain I just know that that's not going to happen. You know what? If somebody wants to go and shoot up the Albertons, well, you know what? It's not going to be when we're there.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know that sounds ridiculous, but and maybe selfish, I don't know, but I believe what the Bible says, and I take those promises over my life, over my kids' lives, and I know it's not as easy for everybody to believe it, but truly, I was listening to this other podcast where this woman was saying that she leaves her house almost in panic every time.
Oh gosh.
Thinking somebody's going to kidnap me, somebody's going to kill me, I'm not going to come back home. And she's a believer.
Okay. So on that note, I leave the house and I'm not oblivious to my surroundings.
Right.
And I'm also not going out there being negligent. Whenever we go somewhere, we're always telling our kids, stay close to us.
Of course.
When we went for a walk today, I was telling Annabelle, don't walk behind me, walk in front of me.
Oh, yeah.
So
because we know the danger that is out there.
Yes,
so obviously I do not let my kids go out by themselves in the dark, or if we're at the store, I'm not letting them wander. Okay, well, nothing. No, I do what I know I should do as a parent, but I do not tell them no, stay close to me because then something can happen right now, and no, so this lady was saying, she walks out of her house and she's like, if it's my time to go, it's my time to go, and I just laugh and I'm like, well, that sucks. She's saying bye to her kids and family every time she leaves to go to the grocery store, not knowing if she's coming back, but yeah, I don't know. I think we're just a different type of breed.
And I think the thing too is I know you feel the same way, but sometimes we don't feel like we need to apologize for being the way that we are. Do you get what I'm saying? I feel like your instincts is say oh, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. you know, like,
Yeah.
because like I've been
God.
doing, I've been doing the study, Bible studies on Joshua, and just just in general, we've been reading a lot about the Old Testament,
Right.
and they had absolutely no doubt about God.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about specifically about the key people that the Bible talks about, like Joshua, like Moses, like that's why God chose them to lead his people, because they knew without a doubt who their God was.
Yeah.
Like Abraham had absolutely, I mean,
No
I know
doubt.
if we really dig into it, yes, there was doubt. But what I'm saying is, like, they knew what God was capable of.
Right.
And when they declared something, like, they believed it wholeheartedly, and it would come to pass.
Yeah, I mean, obviously now we're living in a different time,
Yeah.
and there's so much evil around us that it's hard not to be affected, or for that to infiltrate into our minds,
Right.
into what we think. Like you go to work at night, and we're
Yeah.
here at home alone.
I've thought about that, yeah.
And yeah, there's times where, obviously I wish you would be here, but like, I don't ever think, oh my God, they're going to break in or they're going to come in or something's going to, I really don't. Like, people ask me.
Oh, trust me, when I come home, they're knocked out. Like, they're at peace.
A lot of my, people that we know will ask me, like,
And our guard dog are with her legs up in the air, knocked out. She probably sleeps better than all of
I
us
think,
here.
like right now, she's
Like
knocked
right now,
out.
we're looking at her, she's knocked out. But anyways.
But, people around ask me, like, oh, how can you sleep? Or how do you sleep? Or you must be awake while he's away. I really, like, I'm not. And I know the girls at first, when you were gone at night, it was like, well, Dad's not here. But yeah, like, I just having that peace. And I know it's easier said than done. But you're right. I don't think we should apologize, because there's people that are completely opposite and they don't apologize for how they think.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know. I think it's going to tick a lot of people off, though, just because of how
Hey, man,
different we think.
I heard this from someone a long time ago, and it stuck. The devil does not take a day off.
Right.
Like, the devil is 365 days a year
Working. Yeah.
working, like every minute, every second, like he's making it count. So yeah, we are the ones that get comfortable. We are the ones that
Exactly.
want, oh no, everything's fine, but we cannot take a day off, because our enemy that the Bible says came to rob, steal, and
Steal.
destroy.
Right.
And he's not taking a day off from scheming. He's not taking a day off from causing chaos and violence and all of that. So I don't think we should take a day off as the body of Christ. And, so anyways, I just wanted
That
to
was
talk
very-
about that. But the point of all of that is to say, don't allow fear to come into your heart, or maybe it comes into your heart, but don't allow it to remain there. Like,
Yeah.
once you are afraid, once there is fear, you're paralyzed. And when you're paralyzed, you're not thinking straight.
Right.
You're constantly living in panic. Your world changes. And that's exactly what the enemy wants. That's another scheme. That's another way of, destroying. Is just, if you're scared and you're panicking, then you're not going to go to church. You're not going to go, whatever your calling is.
Whatever.
Even if you're afraid, oh, I love singing and I know that I have the gift, but I'm afraid to sing in public. Well, guess what? Because you're afraid, because that fear has entered your life, that's why you're not doing it. So, yeah.
This went a lot more profound than I thought.
Why? What
Our
did you think I was gonna
conversation
say? I
today.
know, man. It's just, again, like, I know we said, oh, we're going to talk about the Super Bowl and the halftime show, and we did, but, then these other two things happened.
Yeah, during
and this
the week.
other shooting just happened yesterday. And yesterday, Wednesday, today's Thursday. And it's fresh,
No, yeah. I believe that we have we can control those thoughts in our mind, and I think that's where it affects us first. It's all a thought.
Yeah.
And then it goes down to our heart, and then we act on it. So
Exactly.
just pray.
If anybody needs prayer,
Pray.
if anybody, just wants to talk and get things off your chest, obviously you can always reach out to us. We try to make things lightheartedly, but this is one area that we take very serious. We just had Jenny, what's her last name? Donnelly. Yeah, we just had Jenny Donnelly at her church. If you don't know her, man, she's on the move. Like she has a big movement, big mission that she's been given by God. And one of the hashtags or slogans that they're using is "Don't mess with my kids."
Right. I was gonna say, just even if you look on Instagram, just that hashtag, it should
pop
up.
Okay, yeah.
Don't
So
mess
look
with
up that hashtag on Instagram. Don't mess with my kids, and you're gonna see that there is a multitude of believers in Christ that are rising up exactly against darkness. Like, and that's what we need. We need a movement of light to combat all of the darkness that is happening.
Right. Well, I think the scariest part is a lot of times we don't really believe that we are in the darkness. Like we
that's
don't
a good point.
realize that it's affecting us, affecting our kids. And the movement is with the kids because obviously they're the next generation.
But not like right now, even I know we talked about food earlier, but that is also darkness because all of that is driven by greed. Yeah. Like those that have made money, they want more money, and they don't care.
They don't care what it takes.
What it takes and who's going to pay the price for it. No. They just want the money.
Right. Well, yeah, they're trying to make us sick. So it just money.
And it's just a vicious cycle. Like if you're sick, then you have to go to the doctor. Like I've always asked myself this, and I know now we're like going into another realm of questions, but I always wonder, like, if you're a doctor, then how do you not know how to heal somebody in whatever area? Like it seems, or how do I say this? It seems like they just give you things to suppress the sickness, but they don't take it away.
Right.
Then what the heck are they doctors for?
Covers the symptom.
Yeah.
Covers the symptom. That's a whole nother topic.
And I feel, but again, I feel like that's a vicious cycle. Like all of these people at the top that make billions of dollars, they want you to be in the condition that you're in so that you're just a robot. You're just programmed that way. Yeah. Now I just sound like a theorist. What do you call those?
I don't know.
A conspirator. Whatever. However you say that.
Well, this is why I don't go to the doctor, and you know this.
Yeah.
Like I don't go to the doctor unless, I'm pregnant, which, like, I'm done with. So, but I do believe that doctors really don't know much. They don't know. You take your kid, and everything is normal here. Everything is normal. Like 105 fever. Oh, it's normal. No, it's not. Like there are certain things that we go. Like I think after Sophia. If you guys want to know what happened to Sophia, send me a text. But, I feel like I learned so much because the times that we did take her to the doctor, and then
they said it was normal at first. Remember,
it was normal
the
for
eczema?
her too. No, that was beyond eczema.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying.
Imagine we took her to the ER. Her skin, her body was blistering open, like open wounds, llagas, and they're like, "This is normal. This happens." And it's not normal. Anyway, so when we got the help that we needed with the doctors that did help us, it was a whole different approach, So I don't know. Western medicine is really gets to me because they just want you to be sick. They want your money. We can talk about that next time though, because that's a whole. I'll have a lot to say about that.
I do thank God though for the two doctors that helped us the most while we were going through the situation. But why were what did both of them have in common and were the reason why they helped us? Think about it. Because they both believed in natural healing methods.
Natural.
And they also were believers, you know? And I feel like
a lot of prayer and then what we ate.
What we ate and a lot of prayer and a lot of healing.
And that's inner healing.
Inner healing. So
which is ultimately the root of a lot of sicknesses. So our bodies just react to what we've lived,
absolutely.
after Sophia, okay, it was a skin condition, but it went a lot deeper than that. But okay. We got to cut this.
I guess, we'll
leave, come back to this.
We'll leave it at that. I'm sure you have opinions and what.
But let us know. I think I want to know the person who thinks different than us. That way we have something to talk about because that's what this is about.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to get upset if somebody comes and says, no, well, I do live in fear. Okay, well, let's talk about that. Like, what is it causing that? Do
you remember ever living in fear about anything? As far as you can remember?
Thankfully, no. But I think my parents played a big role in that.
Yeah.
Because you know how my dad is.
Yeah.
And I feel like I get that. I have that trait. Like, I would come home. I remember a few times I'd come home from school, like they're saying this or they're saying that. And sweetie, nothing's going to happen. Yeah. And I would be left like, but they're saying this, sweetie. The Bible says blah, 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 blah. You know, you're okay. And I had no choice but to believe what he was telling me, you know?
True.
So I feel like, no.
I used to have a fear of just being a dad. I didn't grow up with my dad. So I would always say, well, how can I be a dad if I didn't have that example of a dad?
I remember that.
And that was a big fear for me, man. But, you know, then again, like I learned that God is a father to the fatherless. And, you know, he is our father. And I started like really digging into what the Bible says about him being a father figure. And that is what brought me peace. And obviously the people that I surrounded me around, you know, my father-in-law, like he's a great example of being a dad.
During the process too.
Well, yeah. But you have to expose yourself.
Right.
You have to expose yourself, number one, and you have to, somewhat accept the fact that there is a fear. Yeah. And then once you've identified what it is, you can find the resources to help you.
know, actually, I think the only time that I can remember is when I was pregnant with Eliana.
Because of the miscarriages before that.
I'm thinking. That's because of the previous, 5 miscarriages I had. You remember, like any little twitch something, I was like, oh my gosh, when I would have to go to the doctor.
We just wanted to hear the heartbeat.
Yeah, every time I would so I think that was like probably what comes to mind right now. Yeah.
So if you're somebody that has had any losses, right, in that area, and you need somebody to talk to, please reach out to Carol. You can send me a message on Instagram or send an email to, let me see, it's podcastcoolguy@gmail.com or obviously on Instagram, like I said, and I can give you Carol's information so you guys can talk about it. But yeah, no, I remember that time and it was not a good time. Yeah. But thankfully, Eliana's here now in all her glory. But
we should have her on the podcast.
We should have her on the podcast because I'm sure she'd have a lot to say too.
Yeah.
Yeah, her little 3-year-old. All right, guys. Well, I think
that was a lot to unpack.
Yeah, we're gonna leave things there. Thank you so much again for listening. We have a $10 gift card for Amazon that we want to give away, and follow us on Instagram so that you have more information on how we're gonna go about giving that away. So we're just excited to.
Can't they comment on the Spotify thingy or on the podcast?
Yeah, I'm not sure actually. I've never really used Spotify.
You should.
Now we're gonna have to. We just canceled our Apple Music subscription. That was almost $20 a month. It seemed like, so and now it's like, wait, why do we do that? So we're trying to use Spotify or Amazon Music, and it doesn't work the same.
And then there's commercials. But you should have them. I know, when I listen to podcasts, they say comment down below, and then you can leave a comment on the podcast. But that way we can just track it all on one
platform.
I don't know.
And you're not on social media.
And I'm not on social media. That's
maybe you should do it if you have the ring doorbell. There's the neighborhood thing. That's what Carol's into right now.
Follow me on the Ring.
All right, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll give you more information on our Instagram at the Cool Guy Podcast. Stay tuned for that, and we'll see you guys next time. Right?
Yeah.
Is that it?
We out.
All right. Bye, guys.